Ayo bakwethu, ayo, it's your boy Clip, the naked truth. It's Mvimbi. You know how it goes. I'm back in Victoria Falls and it's sunnier than ever. So today I'm not alone. I never walk alone. Nothing defend Liverpool. Today I'm alongside the hit maker. It's creating waves here and there. Naishe Rowland, how are you doing, my boy?
Hi, Arnold. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Do you know? Besides the sun, I'm not used to this weather. I'm from somewhere else. Okay, so otherwise, how have you been like?
I've been fine actually. I've been good. Everything's good.
Okay, so Naishe, just a small breakdown on who Naishe is. I know a lot of people know that, and I know that, of course, but who is Naishe in general?
Okay. Naishe Rowland is a singer, songwriter in Victoria Falls, right? Basically an ambivert character. Ambivert.
Ebana. Bruh, and when we're doing this, as many as we're not fighting. We're not fighting. So you said Naishe was
Okay, I'm an introvert and an extrovert at the same time, depending with where I am. Right?
ambivert.
Yeah,
Alright.
ambivert. So I'm very social, sometimes quiet at times, but basically, yeah.
Okay. All right. So before we do all of those boring stuff, people want to know the inspiration behind. And I know on ZBC you said a lot about the song not being about you, but it's about things that are happening. So I want you to like say it again, like tell us more about End.
Okay, like I've mentioned before, right? And that is not about my personal experience, right? But then it's about what I've seen around me, like my friend groups, brothers, sisters, and all that. It really doesn't have a gender. It's basically telling a story of like how you really love someone, but then it hurts to see them stay. It hurts more to see them stay, so you just have to let them go as much as it hurts.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I'm forced to ask about your relationship experience. For reals, bruh, for reals. I'm forced to ask about your relationship experience. Have you ever been in such a situation whereby you find yourself having to say and for reals, because I have. No, we're not talking about me.
Okay. I have been in some relationships, right? But they're not ever. I've never been in a situation where I have to be like in that and stuff and all that.
How do you do it? And
yeah, but yeah, I have been in a few, but then they end on different terms, not because of the end of situation.
All right, I feel. So I know a lot is being said about Naishe, this Naishe, that Naishe and Enda and what. But I noticed something. There's another figure in Enda which is Troesky.
Yes.
Troesky or something.
Yes,
Troesky beat. That beat was nice. Like trust me, that beat was nice. So how did you and Troxy come up with that thing? Like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys find the end part of music?
Okay, so Troesky played a really big role in Enda because without Troesky, Enda would not be there in the beginning, right? So the story behind Troesky and I, we actually go to the same church, right? He's the drummer at our church, right? And we just noticed each other's talents, and then that's when like we found out that he's a producer and all that. And then he called me to the studio, and then he's like, "I've got this beat, right?" And it was supposed to be a additional track to his EP Ketiwe. Right. And then he was like, I've got this beat. I've thrown it around a few artists in Victoria Falls, and none of them are coming up with what I really want, right? And then I'm like, okay, let me just try it. And then we have this chorus, the and then we just put like words on it. And then he's like, go home, find the story that you want to tell, find the situation that you want to tell, and just write on it.
So you mean to say you wrote Enda?
Yeah, I wrote Enda.
Or you just like brought in the beat? Is it a collaboration or it's a feature?
So Enda is a feature. I am being featured by Troesky Beat, right? Okay. Because as much as I wrote the lyrics and all that, he had a role to play in that because what he felt like, okay, no, this is not really going along with the storyline. He would like send me back at home and be like, go write another one and all that. So he played like this mentor role when I was writing Enda.
All right. Enough with the Enda part. There's this thing I noticed. and a lot of people have noticed. Even Victoria Falls celebs noticed and posted, and I don't know. I want to understand what's your relationship with Gemma Griffith, because you featured in that video. So like a lot of people are saying maybe Naishe is working on a track with Gemma, or Naishe this or Naishe that. So I want to know what your relationship with Gemma is, and I want to know if it started before or after Enda.
Regarding Gemma, it was before Enda. Right. There was a time when Gemma came to Force and I was performing at River Brewery, right? And then after performing, she's like, "Oh, you've got a nice voice and all that," and she like gave me words of encouragement and on like how to continue my my music career and all that, right? And then it so happened that she was working on the album, right? That she announced not so long ago, and I was like, "Okay, let's work and all that." She was like, "If you want to be in a video, just tell me." And I'm like, "Oh, definitely. There's not a chance that I would want to miss and all that." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll definitely be in a video." As much as I wasn't actually singing, I was like an extra in the video. That was like a really good experience and opportunity. So that's the relationship I have with Gemma.
All right, and I don't think I want to know much about that one because you know those things. Lately, you just talk to someone and you just find yourself sued. So for real. So Naishe, I'll play a game with you, and
okay.
So I want to know, would you think is a better producer, Troesky or Ludo?
Oh my god. Okay, between Troesky and Ludo, right? I would say they are both kings of different kingdoms.
All right.
Right. Because Troesky is more of a soulful R&B, Afro type of person, right? And Ludo is house, like, you know, those stuff that you can like jam to, have fun around. And Troesky is that person whereby he can make a beat that you can like connect to, feel emotional and all that. So I can't really compare the two because they're both kings of different kingdoms.
All right. I feel, but I think this one is a better comparison. Obet Dube and Emily the Poet.
Between Obet Dube and Emily the Poet. I have not really listened much to Obet Dube, right? As much as he is well known and all that, I really don't know him to that level. I haven't heard a lot of his pieces, right? But I have a personal relationship with Emily, right? She's a good friend of mine. Or we used to like. Oh, not in that way. She's a good friend of mine. She would like, "Naishe, I wrote this poem. Tell me what you think," and all that, right? I'm like, "Oh no, it's fine." So, at the same, back to the first response, I can't really compare the two because I would be biased because I don't really know Obet that much.
So you cannot compare anyone.
So
all right, and this one, Tony Witness and Emmanuel Tawanda.
Tony Witness and Emmanuel Tawanda. I am a fan of Emmanuel Tawanda.
Oh.
I am a big fan of Emmanuel Tawanda, and like with how young he is and like the ways that he has been making on social media, that is like really commendable. And Tony is a really good artist. He's well known in Victoria Falls and all that. So again, I cannot compare because these are of different age groups.
Okay.
Right? They're of different age groups. They're of different genres actually. You know that Tony is more of a love artist. He wants to like connect his people, his audience to like how he feels and all that. And Emmanuel is like, he gives off that emotional vibe. Like, okay, I can actually relate to this. I can actually relate to the cover. I'm really hoping that he will drop something very soon because I feel like he's got a lot of stuff that he's harbored within him. So I still can't compare the two.
All right, last one. I wanted to ask who was the best between this one and that one, but I realized that I'm not getting an answer over there. All right, so let me make it easy for you, and I'll ask and say, you know, there are a lot of MCs in Victoria Falls like the Sharks Novas, J Van, Tandazo, and all those. But I want you to tell me one person whom you'd want to welcome you on stage.
Okay, a person who I would want to welcome me on stage, right? I know a few MCs in Victoria Falls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a personal relationship with Sharks again. He's like, he has this big brother mentor vibe in my life. But then, considering how you just introduced me right now, right? For this one, I'll go with Arnold Flip.
Keep me out of that one because All right, give me out of that one.
If I'm removing you, I would definitely go for Sharks. I would
All right.
definitely go.
So you meant to say you would choose Arno Flip over Sharks Nova?
I'm not saying this, but
Because
with
just
knowing
not
Sharks,
so long ago, Sharks Nova won the Victorian Award for
yeah,
his best
the
MC,
SMC.
and Arno Flip was not even nominated.
So for that one, I would go for Arnold over Sharks because knowing Sharks, right, he wants to give the youth a chance. He had a time to shine and all that. And from what he has actually told me from in the past, he would want to give new people the spotlight and have that mentor. You can come to me whenever you need a help vibe. And I think I support him with that. So yeah. But if you're removing yourself, I would definitely go for Sharks.
Bagwetu, it's your boy Arno Flip once again. You know, I always say it before, and I've said it before and before and before. But remember this one: life is like chopsticks. Sometimes the stop in next unless we go together. See, Valaganje, Oga, the naked truth.